All right, so this is a big victory for Victoria Gowri. The SP has dismissed the petition against her elevation. That's the latest news coming in. This is a big breaking news. Neelashish, of course, live with us. Neelashish, this is, of course, a huge setback to those lawyers who were opposing Victoria Gowri's elevation. The SC has now dismissed the plea.
Absolutely, the Supreme Court has said that we are not entertaining this plea, that the reasons will follow. But as of now, the petition has been dismissed. And as you saw simultaneously, Victoria Gowri took oath as a High Court justice in Madras. But yes, big victory for Victoria Gowri, Justice Victoria Gowri. Now, in fact, after having taken oath, the Supreme Court has dismissed the petition filed by the Madras lawyers. And let's not forget, very
absolutely, Neelash's point taken. Harish is also on the phone line with us. He's bringing us all the live updates from the Supreme Court. Harish, take us through what happened in the court. Big setback, of course, for the lawyer lobby, which was opposing Victoria Gowri's elevation.
Yes, the Supreme Court has just now said that we are not interfering with this petition. We are not inclined to accept this petition, and reasons will follow. Saying so, the bench of Justices Sanjeev Khanna and B.R. Gawai has just now dismissed the petition filed by Madras lawyers seeking a stay on the recommendation of Victoria Gowri as Madras High Court judge. In the meanwhile, she has already been sworn in as an additional judge of the Madras High Court, as it was fixed for 10:35, and it happened dot on time. And 10:35 she was sworn in, and just now at 10:53 the Supreme Court has dismissed the petition filed by the Madras lawyers seeking a stay on the process for her appointment. As in fact she was a BJP leader, and also that she had made hate speeches against Hindus, Christians and Muslims. But the bench said that there are many judges with political background who have made it to the benches in High Court and Supreme Court. It doesn't mean that the judgments or orders will reflect that. Justice B.R. Gawai himself said that even I had a political affiliation, but that I have been a judge for 20 years, but that has never showed in my judgment. And also invoked the example of V.R. Krishna here, who himself had a communist background and was one of the most brilliant judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court. But the lawyers said that what stood out was the hate speeches made by Victoria Gowri, but Supreme Court was not inclined to entertain any such argument, and has now refused to entertain the petition, and therefore it's a huge setback for the Madras High Court lawyers as the petition has been dismissed.
Right, but Harish, was the main contention only with her past, as her statements, as her political affiliations at the time when she was also a part of the additional Solicitor General there in the state? That was something that was not that time taken cognizance of, because she's been saying that she had given up her membership even of her party, and even when it comes to her political post that she was working on. Prapanch, if you can take that question. Prapanch is also with us right now. Well, Prapanch, what do we hear it as far as those lawyers there? Because yesterday till this time they were protesting and filing their petitions before the court to urgently hear the matter. Now the petition has been dismissed.
Now, when we spoke to the lawyers over here, they were initially protesting, and later on now we could see that they have said that they will read the order, complete order, because it has the petitions have been dismissed. Now they said they will be reading the complete order, then they will react, and then they will decide the further course of action. But as of now, we are given to understand that these lawyers were protesting a short while back, while simultaneously we saw Lakshman Chandra Victoria Gowri had in fact sworn in as the additional judge of the Madras High Court. So amidst heavy protests by the lawyers fraternity also,
right,
she took
just stay on with us, Prapanch. We have Mr. Majid Memon with us. Mr. Majid Memon, the petition, the plea against the swearing in of L.C. Gowri has now been dismissed by the Supreme Court. Sir, what's your take on this?
This development is certainly a quite new avenue for this appointment of the judges of the High Courts, because there has been a lot of discussion and controversy with regard to the role of collegium and the role of the law minister of the government of India in finalizing the names. And in this particular case, as many as 21 lawyers rose and made a grievance that they knew the incumbent judge, and then they said that probably she would not be an appropriate person to be elevated to bench. But then Supreme Court, having dismissed that petition today, it's very unfortunate that the matters of appointment of judges, which used to be done in a very discreet manner and in very full proof verification timely. But then this is very peculiar.
Well, it remains to be seen there, sir, because the Supreme Court has dismissed that petition. Mr. Memon, thank you very much for joining in. We are getting live reactions. Let's cross live.
ஒரு நம்பிக்கை ஏற்படுத்தக்கூடிய வகையிலே நபர்களை தேர்வு செய்ய வேண்டும் என்று அகில இந்திய வழக்கறிஞர்கள் சங்கம் கொலிஜியத்தை இந்த தருணத்திலே நாங்கள்
Mr. America Narayanan is also with us, sir. Good morning. Is this a vilification of anyone who subscribes to any theory or any ideology of their own, but now as a judge, it is something that should remain in the past and just focus on the work that she's now been given to? She's been elevated now as a judge, sir.
Well, I think it's good that the Supreme Court has given at least a consistency based on the prior activity of DMK and other people who had been made as judges. So there's a certain amount of consistency. However, I think we still need to have a better way of appointing the judges for both High Court and Supreme Court. It needs to be reviewed. There has to be a public debate in terms of how to appoint the judges and what are the qualifications, and publicly what do they stand for, because the judiciary has to come under the scrutiny in democracy.
No, but is it right to cast aspersions? Mr. America, thank you very much for joining us right now. We have Mr. Kovai Satyan and also Swapnil with us right now. Swapnil, is it right to cast aspersions on an individual with the kind of ideology that they hold? Because at the center is the constitution that they have to follow and to uphold, now as a judge.
Amita, this Victoria Gowri issue is nothing but another attempt to attack the collegium system. I hope it's not misogyny, trying to attack somebody just because she happens to be a woman and wants to occupy a high post. To me, I view it more so as nothing but that surround sound which has been there of the law minister, of the Vice President of India making barbs at the collegium system. This is in line with that. To say that this recommendation by the collegium system of this person who had a political slant, say towards the BJP, nowhere in the constitution there is a prescription to that effect saying that you cannot have a political slant. You have to be 35 years of age, LLB or an LLM degree, 10 years of practice in the High Court or a subordinate court, or both put together. That's all it says in the appointment of a High Court judge. Today, I have voted for the BJP thrice in the past years. And I love Narendra Modi. I would write an article today in the Times of India op-ed and say that I love Narendra Modi and his policies and I critically analyze them. Tomorrow, is that going to be held against me if I want to become a judge? What kind of an absurd argument is that? That just because I love, that means, so that means when I become a judge, I'll be passing judgments in favors of people or the petitioners who love Narendra Modi or who are BJP, aficionados. Is that what it is? How absurd can it get? Nowhere have I seen.
But she's been an advocate. She's been an assistant solicitor general as well. Will that cast aspersions on now that she has been elevated as an additional judge? Let me also bring on live reactions that are coming in from the court side. Let's do those live reactions.
इस पूरे फैसले को कैसे देखते हैं और क्या ये एक बड़ी साजिश है न्यायपालिका को लेकर?
So what is the impact of something like this on the judiciary and in the bar?
See, whatever the court has done, the order passed by the court is perfectly all right. Actually, this should have been the decision of the court. Otherwise, it would have created a very wrong precedent. जो भी कोर्ट ने किया है, बहुत अच्छा किया है और मुझे लगता है कि इससे बढ़िया डिसीजन नहीं हो सकता था. अदरवाइज एक बहुत ही गलत प्रेसिडेंट काम हो जाता. कोर्ट ने ये कहा है कि देयर आर टू फैक्टर्स टू बी कंसीडर्ड बाय द कॉलेजियम. One is eligibility, another is suitability. Both the factors, the collegium of the High Court, the collegium of the Supreme Court, they consider very well. दोनों फैक्टर्स को एलिजिबिलिटी आप उस संविधान के तहत आप एलिजिबल हैं नहीं हैं, सुटेबल हैं कि नहीं कि आप जज के पद को आप बरकरार रखें। तो ऐसी स्थिति में कॉलेजियम, द गवर्नमेंट, द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, द IB, so many agencies, so many authorities, they consider the suitability and the eligibility. And when they find it that any lawyer or any person of subordinate judiciary is perfect to be a judge of the High Court or Supreme Court, then these cannot be now examined by the judicial side. Then therefore, whatever the court, and we also submitted